Hey guys, welcome to my channel. This is my very first makeup tutorial and I'm so excited to get started. So today we're going to be using the new JACLYN Morphe palette. I cannot wait to show you guys this look that I created today. So if you want to see how I got this look that I'm wearing right here, just keep watching.
I'm going to start off by prepping my skin with the Makeup Forever Step 1 Yellow Skin Equalizer. Since I do have acne-prone skin, this primer helps to neutralize the redness and even everything out. Please excuse the tiny dot on my nose that I forgot to blend out. I'm now going to take the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation in the shade 3.25. I'm going to mix it with the NYX Pro Foundation Mixer in the shade Olive and blend those two together to match my skin. And sorry I didn't realize I was giving you guys a finger when I was applying this. Once I've applied all those little tiny dots of foundation to my skin, I'm going to start blending out with my Besame foundation brush. You can use really whatever foundation brush you have at home. I just love this one since it is so huge. It blends everything out super quickly, and since it is flat, it just glides across my skin and makes everything look super smooth. Now I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer in the shade Fair Beige. We're going to start by concealing under the eyes. I also like to bring the concealer a little bit farther down just to add more coverage as well as create a brightened and highlighted look. So that everything looks cohesive, I'm also going to add concealer to my nose, around my mouth, and on my chin, as well as my forehead. And of course around any areas that I might be breaking out. I'm now going to take a damp beauty blender and start blending all of that concealer out. I do like to start under the eyes first just because I feel like this concealer in particular tends to dry up just a little bit. So starting with the eyes first helps it so that it doesn't settle in any of those fine lines. To me, the best way to blend this concealer out is just to do little bouncing motions on the skin. I can tend to get a little bit aggressive, but that's just because I like to make sure that everything is completely blended. Now I'm going to take my RCMA No Color Powder and start by setting the under eye area. I like to pack this on pretty heavy because I am going to be keeping this on my face while doing my eyes. It's going to help to catch any of the fallout from the shades we're going to be using today. I'm also going to place it anywhere where my makeup gets oily as well as separates, which is places like my chin and my forehead. And now it's time to take a dip into the JACLYN palette. Starting off, we're going to be using the colors Silk Cream and MFEO. I'm going to start by creating a nice light base in my crease. I don't really have much of a crease because I do have hooded eyes, so I kind of have to create my own. Now we're going to take the shade Butter. We're going to go in the exact same placement as before and just start deepening our crease. I'm just going to wiggle the shade back and forth until I've built up that color how I want it. Once it's built up, we're going to go back in with the other shades, which was Silk Cream and MFEO, and literally just blend that out a little bit higher than where we placed Butter. I hope that makes sense. And then cleaning up the edge with a beauty blender. Now we're going to take the shade Hunts, which is a beautiful deep warm red. Starting in the outer crease, we're now going to blend that almost right where Butter is, but slightly underneath it. Doing this is going to create a gradient effect. And just continuing to blend until there is no harsh lines. When in doubt, blend it out. I kind of like to flick my brush out so that it almost creates like a winged effect on the edge. Then blending into the inner corner and doing little circular motions outward. Now going back in with the shade Butter and diffusing any lines and blending everything out. To deepen the outer corner, I'm going to be going in with the shades Roxanne and Jax. As always, we're going to be starting in that outer crease and then blending forward. Rule of thumb with each deeper shade you use, make sure it's slightly underneath your previous colors. This is going to help create a gradient effect with no harsh lines. Now going back in with that red shade Hunts, we're just going to add a little bit more warmth. Now going in with the shade Firework, I'm going to use a damp brush and then just start packing that on the outer side of the lid, going toward the center. Make sure you're only placing it on the outer lid and not touching the outer corner. Also stopping right below your crease. You don't want to mess up what you've already built. Now I'm going to take Little Lady and Sissy. We're going to place that right next to and very lightly blend it onto Firework. Since our brush is still damp, we're going to start chiseling out almost what is like a cut crease. Since I do have such hooded eyes, I do like to take this shade just a little bit higher up so that you can see it more. And just making sure that line is diffused where Firework is and Little Lady mixed with Sissy. Then once more going in with Roxanne and Jax and just deepening that outer crease. And just to make sure everything is 100% blended out, we're going to go back in with Silk Cream and MFEO. You just need very little of these two shades and then lightly dust over your brow bone. Now I'm going to take Urban Decay Razor Sharp Liner in the shade Street to make a razor sharp wing. I'm going to start at the bottom of my lower lash line and slowly start building up my wing. I'm now going to connect the tip of my liner to the top of my lash line. You want to do a downward motion, creating almost like a little triangle. For the inner corner, I want to create a very tight, thin line. I'm then going to go back and connect my wing to it. And now the easiest step to our wing is just completely filling it in. And lastly, I'm just going to go back in and make sure that that is one solid line. Finally, I'm going to go back in and wipe all of that excess powder out from under my eyes with a big fluffy brush. I'm now going to be taking the shade Jada and placing that under the lower lash line with a smudger brush. I'm going to gently wiggle that color into my lashes as well so that there's no missing color or blank spaces. I'm going to continue doing this until right before I reach my inner corner. I'm now going to take the shade Creamsicle on a tiny little brush. I'm not even really sure what this brush is. I think it came with like a Maybelline eyeliner pot or something. I'm going to take that color and place it right in the inner corner, coming down to meet that green color Jada. I'm then going to go in with the shade Butter to blend out those colors and add warmth. Now I'm going to take my Rimmel Exaggerate Waterproof Liner in the shade In the Nude, which just like it says is a beautiful true matte nude color. To add some glam to this look, I'm going to be using my Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liner in the shade Midnight Cowboy. With this, we're going to be creating like a second wing. I'm going to be applying it a little bit over my crease so that it's more visible. To create this specific liner look, you're just going to follow along the natural shape of your crease. I like to go back over it a couple of times just so that it's more of a solid glittery line. You're now going to stop at the outer corner and begin to flick that liner out. You're literally going to mimic your bottom wing, but you want to make sure that the two don't touch, that it's just right above it. I'm now going to take my Cocoa Lashes in the style Baby G and apply some House of Lashes glue. I've already cut the end of my lashes to match the length of my eye, and now I'm just going to start placing the lash and lining it up with my upper natural lash line. It's hard to tell because my big fat hand is in focus here instead of my eye, but I am squishing, I guess that's the best word I can find, but I'm going to press my natural lashes along the false lashes so that the two blend together and look more of one. I'm now going to take my Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara and start applying it to my upper lashes. When wearing false lashes, I always wear mascara so that you can't tell the separation from natural lash to false lashes. And of course, adding it to your bottom lashes as well so that everything looks even. For brows, we're going to be taking the NYX Micro Brow Pencil in the shade Ash Brown. So just starting at the front bottom of my brows, I'm just going to follow along the natural line of where my hair grows and just continue to etch that brow out. Now we're going to do the same thing on the top, just continuing to etch that brow out. Now back to the front, we want to start filling in with nice light upward strokes. Doing this is going to mimic your natural brow hairs as well as filling in without it looking too harsh. Now I'm just going to take a little bit of concealer and just clean up and define that brow. Now just taking a spoolie on my NYX pencil to blend in and smooth out that brow. I'm going to take a little bit of my Benefit Ready Set Brow. This is just going to help set the brows as well as giving a little bit more definition. So now that is going to be our completed eye look. Now I'm going to take my Makeup Revolution Contour Palette. So we're going to start just chiseling out those cheekbones. I like to start at the middle of my cheek going up into my hairline, making sure you're getting into that hairline because if not, it will just look like a stopped line at your ear, and just going back and forth in circular motions until it's all blended. And I'm going to add a little bit to my forehead as well, again just making sure that you blend into that hairline so that there's no harsh lines or separation of color from forehead to hairline. Now taking my Too Faced Sweetheart blush in the shade Sparkling Bellini and just popping that right on the apples of the cheeks. And of course blending upward. We're now going to take our Makeup Revolution Skin Kiss highlighter in the shade Ice Kiss. This is my absolute favorite affordable highlighter. You can use this highlighter very naturally or like me, a glazed donut. And I'm shook. Since I want to look like I just came out of Krispy Kreme's oven, I'm going to add highlighter to the nose as well as the chin and the Cupid's bow too, pretty much on any high points of the face. Instead of using an eyeshadow, I'm just going to use the same highlighter that I used all over my face for our inner corner as well as our brow bone highlight. To moisturize and prime my lips, I'm going to use Laura Mercier Rose Oil. I'm now going to take my Revlon Ultra HD Matte Lip Color in the shade Seduction and start applying it to my lips. For my top lip, I like to start defining my Cupid's bow first and then filling in from there. I'm kind of bummed because this lipstick isn't actually matte like it says, but it is still a really beautiful color. Now we're going to take our NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray and spray it like there's no tomorrow. Literally like the apocalypse, and you're gonna go through it with this face. A tip I learned from Nikki Tutorials is to immediately fan your face after so that it locks everything in. And that's it.
So this is the finished look. I had a lot of fun creating this look today. I really hope you guys like it. If you do, please give me a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye. So if you guys like this look, subscribe to my channel, and I really like the outcome of it, and yeah, I keep saying really. I hope you guys do too. Please give it a big thumbs up and please give it a big thumbs up and please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, please. I don't know.